Hello, lovelies. Are you a lover of beans and plantain? If you are, then come with me as I show you how I made this sumptuous beans and plantain porridge. I started by washing my beans thoroughly. I boiled some water, and once the water was hot, I added the beans and allowed them to boil for a while. After boiling the beans for some time, I drained the water and washed the beans again. I know that part wasn't captured on camera, but trust me, we are not skipping any important step. After draining the beans, I put another pot of water on the fire and allowed it to boil. Once the water was boiling, I added the beans and allowed them to cook properly. Once the beans were nice and tender, I started adding the ingredients. I started with my onions already sliced. I added the onions, added some pepper and crayfish. I gave everything a good stir, making sure all the ingredients blended in perfectly. Afterwards, I covered the pot and allowed it to simmer for a little while, just a little while, so all those beautiful flavors could come together. Then I added my seasoning cubes and just a little salt. I gave it another good stir, then went in with my oil and stirred everything together again. And now for the plantain. At this point, the beans was already soft and tender. So I added my plantain, which I had already cut into nice round pieces. I gently stirred everything together, making sure the plantain was well incorporated into the beans. I then allowed it to simmer gently so the plantain could cook and absorb all those delicious flavors. And honestly, at this point, the kitchen was smelling so good. Once everything was perfectly cooked, I gave it one final stir and turned off the heat. I fried some extra plantain. I served my beans and plantain porridge and topped it generously with the fried plantain. And this was the final result: simple, delicious, filling, and absolutely satisfying. How do you make your beans and plantain porridge? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye, lovelies.